What's up, guys? I'm Mike Thompson, and I'm a film, music video, and commercial director based in Louisville, Kentucky. I think I direct for the same reasons that we all do. I just love telling stories. I was obsessed with movies when I was a kid. Both my parents are big movie buffs, and so, that was a very regular part of my household was watching movies. Um, when I was about 10 years old, my dad showed me Blade Runner, and after watching that, I think that's, kind of put me on a path to knowing that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I think that's kind of a growing list all the time, and that's good. I think it should be. Um, I think that it depends on when you ask me. When I was a kid, I was really into horror and sci-fi and stuff. So Ridley Scott, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, William Friedkin, all those guys. And then when I got a little bit older, and dug into film a little bit more, you learn about Tarkovsky and Kubrick and Kurosawa and John Cassavetes, all the greats that you hear about. And then even now, I feel like on a daily basis I discover someone new. But as far as current directors, David Fincher, Lynn Ramsey, Denis Villeneuve, Jean-Marc Vallée, Cary Fukunaga, they're all just putting out all these amazing films. And I think what all of them have in common is that they use the same tools that every director does. We all have cranes, we all have dollies, we have steady cams, we have all these other things available to us, and yet whenever you watch one of their projects, from the opening shot, from the first thing, that that's whose project you're watching. And I think that's an incredible feat, and I hope that started to show in some of my work, and that just continues to grow. Um, the hardest thing about funding a project, everything. Every step of funding a project is hard. If you have to pick one, I think most people would say booking the room, like getting in the room with the producer, is the hard part. And I haven't had many issues with that. I'm kind of overzealous, and I just cold called a bunch of producers until somebody gave me a meeting. But I think the issue that I find with it is having a producer who wants to know the story and the script and everything before they even talk numbers. I had a meeting with a producer who asked me about international sales and hadn't even heard the logline yet. And that's, I understand that it's a business, but I just, I would be wary of someone who doesn't even know what the film is about before they're willing to just sign a check over, for sure. I think the film fund is cool, primarily just because it focuses on short films. In my experience, short films are very, very difficult to fund because there's not much of a return of investment for a producer. Um, a lot of times, producers are wanting to do short films and work with directors because they're wanting to kind of get their name out as a producer in the same way that you are. But in terms of the actual funding of it, it's very difficult. And the fact that the film fund provides young directors with an opportunity to get themselves out there is pretty incredible. And also, I mean, instead of going for like crowdfunding or having to jump through all these hoops and win screenplay contests, the film fund offers a simple strategy, which is submit me the log line of what you're going to use the money for, and I think that's about as easy as it gets. My advice for filmmakers who are just starting out is just make things. Don't tie yourself to one specific area. I know filmmakers who have no interest in making music videos or commercials that want to stick to features, and Um, in my experience, I think that that's just a complete disservice to your career. I've learned so much on music videos and commercials that, regardless of whether or not they share similar themes or content of the future projects that I want to work on, it's taught me how to be a better director. It teaches me how to work with the crew, teaches me how to work with actors. We live in a really cool time period where it's not, you have a camera in your back pocket of all times. And while shooting something with your friends on your iPhone in your backyard, it's probably not going to win you any awards. It's probably not going to, make you any money. Um, you're going to be learning how to do what you want to do. And in my experience, you're always going to be happier that you made something instead of not. I think if I had to ask myself a question about my career is, what is the path that I have in mind for it? And I think the answer to it is honestly that I don't know, which I think to some people might be scary or daunting or intimidating, but to me it's kind of awesome. I find that it makes it more wide open. Um, I try to just select projects that I want to work on and or things that I want to make, and I don't really care, the path that they're on as long as I can do it and support my family and live a comfortable life. Other than that, I'm down for whatever.